How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we do a 4K and Blu-ray haul. Most of them I got on Amazon. I think all of them I got on Amazon. There was still sales going on, so I was able to go through and pick some up. So let's see what we got. First movie I want to talk about is Tarantino's best movie in my opinion, and that is Inglourious Basterds. That's what the cover looks like. That's the back. What can you say about Inglourious Basterds? It's an amazing drama, action, comedy film that has a little bit of everything. This is why I love movies, is movies like this that just have amazing set piece scenes. The opening scene of this film is amazing. Christoph Waltz's performance in this is, this is like the introduction of Christoph Waltz to the United States, you know. So, seeing him for the first time and seeing his performance, watching this in the theater was an amazing experience. Brad Pitt does an amazing job. All the female actors in this, all the acting is amazing. Forgive me, I don't know the names of everybody in the film. But yeah, Michael Fassbender's in here as well. There's so many. This is an amazing film with amazing performances, and in my opinion, it is Tarantino's best. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. On IMDb, most of the time, it's up there in the top 10 for sure, and that is Frank Darabont's Shashank Redemption. That's what the cover looks like. That is the back. Shawshank Redemption is just a masterpiece. It's pretty crazy when you think about how it was widely regarded as something very good when it came out in theaters. It was honestly, it was a flop. Not many people went and saw it. It made very little money, and it didn't come into the zeitgeist until later on DVD and when it was played on TV, which is crazy to think because this is such a classic in cinema, such a classic in storytelling. This is just a amazing, beautiful, dark, funny story that all the acting in this movie is amazing. The story is great. I believe it's based off a Stephen King short, and I could watch Shawshank Redemption any day of the week. It's got everything you want with a movie-going experience. If you haven't seen Shawshank Redemption, I highly, highly recommend it. Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins they're just perfect. If you haven't seen this, you have to watch it. That's Shawshank Redemption. The next film I got is a movie I haven't seen yet, but it's from a franchise that I'm pretty familiar with, and that is Scream. That's what the cover looks like. This is back. Now, this is not the original Scream. Don't get confused. It's a little confusing though, because this is just called Scream, and the original is just called Scream. But technically, this is the 5th film, I believe, and I have not seen it. This is essentially a kind of a reboot, but there's a lot of the same actors in it, so it's not really a reboot. It's like a refresh. So I'm excited to check this out. This is a Wes Craven. I don't think Wes Craven directed all of the Scream films up to this point, but maybe he did. I could be wrong on that. I know he directed the first one, and actually, now that I'm saying it, I'm pretty positive he's directed all of them except for this one. I believe he passed away, and this is the first of, which is why it's kind of a reboot, because it's not Wes Craven. I could be wrong on those facts. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But I believe Wes Craven passed away, and these are 2 new directors that came in to do this. So there's 2 new directors. I'm not going to try and pronounce their names. It's crazy. But I'm excited to check this out. This has Jack Quaid, Jenna Ortega, but it also has, from the original films, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, and David Arquette. So they're reprising their roles, so it's not really a reboot, from what I understand. I haven't seen this film, so I want to check it out and see for myself how it is, if there's a big difference with Wes Craven not directing. And I've heard good things though. I've heard it's pretty decent. I do know it's got Jenna Ortega in it, who's, this is a part of her like becoming this like horror queen as we know her. I haven't seen X. I know she was in X. She's in this. She's in Wednesday, right? The Addams Family thing with Tim Burton. So I haven't seen much of her stuff, but I know she's been doing all these projects that have to do with horror. So I'm excited to check it out and see how it is. But that is Scream, not to be confused with the original Scream. This is the reboot. Alright, the next one I got is actually one that was not on sale, but my friend said that it was at Walmart and they had it, and it was a steelbook, and it's a really cool cover, and it's one of my favorite movies. I've talked about this in another film or another video, and this is Bone Tomahawk. And look at this cover. Pretty awesome. This is a steelbook. That's what the back looks like. Let's see, anything doesn't super interesting on the inside, but that's what the inside looks like. Bone Tomahawk. This is S. Craig Zahler. I talked about this movie when I did a video talking about Brawl in Cell Block 99. This is his first film, I believe, and it is Bone Tomahawk. This is Kurt Russell and Patrick Wilson, Matthew Fox, Lily Simmons, and Richard Jenkins. And with Richard Jenkins, you've seen him in many different things, but he steals the show in this movie. He is just so comedic in the way that he delivers his lines, and the dialogue that he's given in this film is just, he knocks it out of the park. He's amazing in this. The makeup they put on him, they make him look like so old, and he kills it in this. Kurt Russell also kills it, and Patrick Wilson. Everyone in this movie just knocks it out of the park. And the dialogue, if you like Tarantino style of dialogue, where it's just funny and witty and everything's just so smart, this is your type of movie. Now I will say it's very graphic. It's a Western horror movie. Most of the movie isn't that graphic. I would say like 70% of the film is not very graphic at all, but the ending, the last few scenes, they get pretty hardcore, about as hardcore as movies get. So just beware. It's pretty hard R, but I mean, this film is like a masterpiece in my opinion. It's so funny. It's so, the dialogue. I'm a big dialogue fan, which is why I love Tarantino so much. If you appreciate good dialogue that's smart and witty and fun, this is a movie. This is Bone Tomahawk by S. Craig Zahler. And you can pick this up at Walmart. This one I actually got at Walmart. I believe it's $25. It's worth it in my opinion. This movie is great. So I highly recommend you check it out. Last but certainly not least is a collection of films on 4K. And that is Alfred Hitchcock. That's what it looks like there. That is the back. And this is a collection of Alfred Hitchcock films. They have a few of these online. And I believe each one of them has about 4 movies. This one has Rear Window, Vertigo, Psycho, and The Birds. And honestly, I think the only one I've seen of those is Psycho. And this actually has 2 cuts of Psycho. Apparently, in 1960, I believe that's when Psycho came out, there was a theatrical version that was released, and that's a different version than what most people have seen since the theatrical version, right? So for TV and for different physical copies, there was an alternate version that most people have seen. So if you've seen Psycho, most likely you've seen that alternate version, and that's not the version that came out when it originally came out in theaters. This contains the one that originally came out in theaters. So I'm excited to go through and check that out and see like what's different. I'm assuming it's probably the shower scene is a little bit different. So I'm excited to see what the differences are. But this is actually really cool. Let me show you. This is the book. And it opens up. Let me get rid of that. It opens up here. So you have like really cool artwork. And then we go on to Rear Window. So it's kind of cool, and it just shows like all the different features, and it looks like it's got the original posters. Some of the cool stuff on there. That is Vertigo. Here's Psycho. Here's The Birds. Really cool, just like a really nice production here. That is what the ending looks like. I'm excited to check these out. Like I said, I've only seen Psycho. And I've probably seen the version, like I said, that ones that actually in theaters. It was a different cut and different edit. So I'm excited to see what the original theatrical experience was like. That's pretty cool. And all these are remastered in 4K. So I mean, it's a pretty cliche, but you always hear that Alfred Hitchcock is just a master of his craft, and he's just a genius filmmaker in suspense and thrillers. So I'm excited to get into it and see what other films he has to offer other than the classic Psycho. But that is Alfred Hitchcock collection. Alright, so that's all the videos that I have today. I have another Criterion haul coming. I got a few more. I know I said it was gonna die down, but I got a pretty big Criterion haul coming up, so look out for that video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed what you saw, and be sure to subscribe. I am still doing a giveaway for Criterion Rushmore, and I gotta take a second. Thank you everybody that has subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. This week alone, I think I jumped up about 20 subscribers, so we're a little more than 20 now as I record this video. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Really appreciate it. It does really help me out. It does really, support these type of videos. If you want to see more of these, that's the way to do it. Just like them, and if you aren't subscribed, just subscribe for me. I really appreciate it. So I will see you guys on the next video. Alright, thanks.